Welcome, everybody, back to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I'm Chris Whitt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Couldn't be better. How about yourself?
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was any better, I'd be our guest of honor. I would be Parker James Whitt. Parker, how are you, buddy?
Good.
Good? Parker, this is Parker Whitt. Welcome to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. Have you listened to our podcast before?
One time.
One time. So Parker's been down here every year since we've been doing this, 3-4 years now?
At least 4.
Yeah, 4 years of the podcast. Around Christmas, the Christmas podcast / New Year's time frame, Parker has been a staple in the background of the podcast.
Yep.
So we decided this year, Parker was wanting to get on. He actually did a little podcast the other day with one of his buddies. They did some NFL picks. They did really well. We might get a channel going for him, and we'll put it at the bottom so you guys can watch that. But we're gonna get to know little Parker Whitt, and we're gonna talk all about what we got on store today, which is our Mount Rushmore this week is probably harder than the Mount Rushmore of Michael Jordan commercials. We've got the Mount Rushmore of This is Sportscenter commercials.
Way harder to me.
100%. I mean, it's ridiculous how much more difficult this is.
Yes.
Because they're all great. Some of the MJ ones, you're like, I mean, it was good because then Michael's in it, but it was like, yeah.
Right.
But these were all good. Parker, did you watch any of This is Sportscenter commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think you got one or two that you might want to put on the of your favorites?
Yeah, but I don't know what they're called.
You don't have to know what they're called.
No.
We'll just describe them when we get to that point. Okay. We also got Sebastian Maniscalco. Boom. First try.
Boom.
First try got the last name.
Beautiful.
We're going to rate that at the very end of the show. The World Cup happened. The World Cup is over. And if anybody listens to this podcast, you know how much me and Adam are into soccer. Sorry, football.
That's right.
Do you have to pronounce it foot?
Yes, I would say you do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I say football, then everybody knows it's American football. But if I say football, do you know the difference, Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's foot and foot.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Kind of like baseball.
Baseball. Yes. Baseball been very, very good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it is Christmas, so I'm sure we'll get into some Christmas talk.
We have to.
We have to talk a little
Love
Christmas. We got Parker in the house. Maybe we can figure out what his stuff, some good Christmas stories from him.
You know, most people don't know your name is Chris, short for Christmas. Your full first name is Christmas.
My full first name is Christmas. It's not Christopher, as most people think.
Right.
My name is Christmas James Whitt.
That's right.
Really?
Not even a little bit. Could get you to believe it if we really wanted to, though. But to start the podcast, we're going to do what we always do, which is start the podcast off with a little Reese's action, and we will rate the Reese's 1 to 10. Adam's got this week's Reese's. Adam Schmidt, what we got, bub?
We have
Oh, it's a bag. This is good.
Reese's. Yeah, that's the bag. So there's going to be plenty. We have Reese's Bells.
Oh, we got the bells, baby. I was just talking. So we had some conversation today after Parker's basketball practice about how we rate Reese's every week. Mm-hmm. And everybody, all the dads chimed in with their favorite ones. I heard the Christmas tree. I heard the egg. I heard all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And
I think what I told them is the consensus is the seasonal Reese's are usually a little bit better. And tell me if I'm wrong. I think it's because the peanut butter is a little more fresher.
Without a doubt. Fresher and more. And a higher volume of peanut butter.
Just like the big cup, which we have decided is better than the regular.
Uh-huh.
Yep. All right. Adam Schmidt, first impressions. Reese's, the Christmas Bell.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's the outer shell of of chocolate. There's a finer line, I think, between the chocolate and the peanut butter. There's like I don't know if it's a little bit of a harder.
It feels it's
like
it's a little harder chocolate or a little thicker, maybe.
Thicker.
Just thicker. I think it's thicker.
It's thicker. You also have a pretty good ratio, the peanut butter to chocolate ratio.
Mhm.
I like that still because you get the chocolate. It's a good, it's a decent size. It's not big, but it's not real small. It's not one of those real little tiny miniatures or whatever. Thank you. I really like the Bell. You know what it reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
Do you remember when we tried the Reese's bar, the Reese's candy bar, basically?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that a little bit.
The
Except
candy bar, like the nut rate, like the outrageous bar.
no, it's built like a Hershey bar.
Oh yes, with where you could break the
Break
pieces
'em off.
off. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it has maybe a little bit more peanut butter or something.
Yeah, it's not as much peanut butter as I would like. I think this needs a little. I think they could have narrowed the walls of chocolate and got a little bit extra peanut butter in there.
Or just made it a little bigger overall and stuck a little more peanut butter in there.
100%. So what do you got? What are you rating the Christmas Bell?
I'm going 9.4.
9.4.
Yeah.
Parker, what's your thoughts on the Christmas Bell, bud? The Reese's Christmas Bell.
I feel like there's like too much butter, like too much peanut butter.
You feel like there's too much peanut butter. Man, I'll tell you what, that is one thing that has never been said on the Nosebleed Sports podcast before about any Reese's anything. You think there's too much peanut butter. So are you not a fan of Reese's in general? Do you like the Reese's candy?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of it.
No? Is it because of the peanut butter? Is that the reason?
It's usually about its size.
About its size? Do you want it to be bigger or smaller?
Like kind of medium.
Kind of medium. Do you think this is too small or too big? The Bell that you just ate.
Probably like probably big.
Probably big, yeah. All right. Do you want to rate it 1 to 10?
8.5 out of 10.
Well, that's still pretty good. That's a decent score. This is an easy one for me. I'm going 9.4. This is a solid 9.4. It's not one of the highest ones that I've rated. It's a little lower on it, and I think it's just because I think the bite-sized things just aren't for me. I need more. I need more peanut butter. Parker needs less peanut butter. I need more peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. The bigger Reese's I like better, but I'm also with Parker. Sometimes it's like, it's so rich, so much. It's weird for me to hear myself say that, but sometimes it is like, that bar, like if you eat the whole thing,
That'd be
I'm
too
like,
much.
ugh.
Yeah, it would be too much.
But then these miniatures, they're like, it's some of the things are even smaller than that, but these smaller ones, you're like, man, I'm wanting a little bit more. So I'm with him. The medium, kind of the regular cup or the big cup, those are good. The big giant things or the little tiny things leave me looking for something else. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I like it. All right. That sounds good. That's the Reese segment. So do we want to get into Christmas next, or do we want to get through some World Cup stuff first?
Did you get a chance to see the World Cup?
So the World Cup that I saw, we've already talked about the USA games. Once USA was done, I didn't watch any. I have not even seen a highlight from the finals of the World Cup, which doesn't mean I didn't want to. It was on at like 10 o'clock. Parker had a basketball game. I didn't get a chance to see any of it. Parker, do you know who won the World Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Who won?
I don't know what the team's called, but I know that Messi won.
You know Messi won. So Lionel, is it Lionel Messi?
I saw some I saw some highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, tell me what happened, man.
I forget a lot. It was like a long time ago.
Okay, Adam, you saw part of this game, correct?
I saw the most important part, which was the last 20, 30 minutes of it.
20, 30 minutes of game time or 20, 30
Total.
minutes of total. So mostly the
best case scenario.
the kicks, mostly
Yes.
the penalty kicks at the end, right?
Well, I did see probably the last 10 minutes of regular time and then the added time, which was only like 3 minutes or something like that. And then the kicks, the
whatever
Goal
they are.
kicks, penalty kicks,
Free kicks, the game-ending kicks.
kick
I
serial. I
I
don't know.
usually call them the penalty kicks.
Usually call them penalty kicks. There you go. So we'll call them penalty kicks for Nosebleed Sports Podcast reasons. If you're a football buff, you can comment on what they're actually called.
Yeah.
So tell me what happens at the end of this thing.
I want to say last minute or two, Argentina scores. Argentina, by the way, is who Messi plays
Argentina,
for.
yes.
Messi.
Messi apparently is getting older. He's like 32, maybe.
30,
And his
like 35 or something.
okay, so but he's never won a World Cup, so that's all apparently for being one of the greatest ever. It's like a little notch, a little nick on the old agenda there.
Yeah. Another thing to add to his trophy case
Resume
or whatever you
is
do.
the word I was looking
Resume is even better. Yes, I mean, apparently everybody's almost kind of calling for his retirement. They're like, okay, you can retire now. You retire on top. It's the perfect time.
for. Yeah.
So yes, he's getting up there. Obviously a legend in the sport. I only know that because I've heard his name more than any others. Besides Ronaldo. But so in Argentina, I remember because I thought of it as, so Argentina played France in the final, and I thought of it as the Manu Ginobili versus Tony Parker match.
100%. That's how I would have thought.
So I think it was Argentina scored at the end of the game to go up one. I want to say 3-2 maybe. And then France scored in the extra time, and it was Mbappe or something.
Mbappe, that's the
Another
guy, man.
big
He's
time.
a really young superstar coming up, fast
Yeah.
as lightning.
What's his first name?
Mbappe, and his last name is A. His first name is and his last name is Bappe.
Pape.
I don't know what his first name is.
I
We'll
don't
call
know
him
either.
Pierre because he's French.
Yeah, he's French. Pierre Mbappe. How's that
sure.
sound, Parker? Yeah, you like it? Why don't you grab your? Here's the deal, Pete. This is going to be your job. When we don't know something today, which is going to happen a lot when we talk, I need you to grab that little telephone you got and just type in what is Mbappe's first name. Get on there.
There you go.
And then when you come up with it, let me know.
Producer duties.
That's right.
You are going to be guest host and
guest
producer.
host and producer. You got to help us out, bro.
So he scores a hat. I think that was his third goal of the game. So I think he gets the hat trick on that goal that ties the game up in extra
he got
time.
a hat trick. What was the final before kicks?
I think it was 3-3 or 4-4.
Man, and so he was. I mean, he had
3-3,
he basically did it. Well, if it was 3-3, he had the hat and he scored all three goals.
Yeah.
Wow, this
Yeah.
dude's a superstar. Did
He is.
Messi have a goal before that?
He did.
He did. All right.
He scored.
Nice.
Yep. So then I guess the goal kicks or penalty kicks, if we're calling them that, it is you get 5. Each team gets 5, and apparently you have your best guys go first. So Messi kicked Argentina's first, and Mbappe or however his name is pronounced, kicks his first. They both made them, which is, I mean, for the lore of this game and the way it's going is perfect. So Argentina ends up winning in 4 kicks because they didn't need the 5th one because they went up 4-1 or something like that in kicks, or 4-2 or whatever. So Argentina won on the kicks. And did you see the parade? Picture or
Holy
video of the parade?
cow. That's the biggest parade I've ever seen.
I forget what they said.
That's not even a parade at
2 million or something.
Yeah,
people,
I heard 2 million people
something like that.
somewhere in Argentina. Parker, did you figure out Mbappe's first name?
Yeah.
What is it?
Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian is what it looks to me.
Huh.
Kylian. Okay, right.
Kylian.
IAN is
Kylian.
Ian, I believe. Ian. I took a little French back in the day.
There you go.
Kylian Mbappe.
All right.
Mbappe. You think that's like his go-to song when he's
Sure.
warming
That should
up?
be his walk-up song. Yeah.
His walk-up song when he walks up to the penalty kick. You think they started playing a little Hanson in the
They should
background?
have.
Yeah.
They should have.
Parker, you know who Hanson is?
No.
You keep growing that hair out, you'll look just like one of the brothers.
Oh man. All right. So Congratulations to Argentina.
Congratulations to Messi. Did he get the golden boot? Did you watch for the ceremony?
I did.
He had to get the golden boot, right? Isn't it called the
Probably.
golden boot?
No idea.
I'm pretty sure they've got like a golden boot or golden
Is it
foot or something like that.
Is that for the MVP?
Yeah, the MVP. Parker, look up who. I'll look it up. I'm 90% sure that's what it's called.
The golden boot. I know there's a Das boot or something like that. If you go down to the what was it called? Not the beer garden, but the
Oktoberfest.
one. Yeah.
It is called the golden boot.
Okay.
What now? Hold on a second. Kylian Mbappe pips Lionel Messi to golden boot. Mbappe took the golden boot after his hat trick in the final, put him on 8 goals, 1 clear of PSG club colleague Messi, who scored twice on the day. So that means the loser of the game. This is like Alex Rodriguez not making the playoffs in Texas and getting the MVP award.
Yeah.
You lose the World Cup, which is once every 4 years, and you get the golden boot. Do you just throw that away? Because that means nothing. Am I wrong? That means nothing to me. Winning the golden boot and my team not winning, I could care less about that.
It means a lot less.
It means I didn't do enough. I don't deserve this. I didn't do enough for my team to win.
Well, I mean, you kicked 3. You made 3 goals, and you made your
Look, bro,
penalty
100%,
kick. So
100%. It's 100%, 100%. You call it a team loss, call it a team win, but then I don't deserve. Nobody on the team deserves the golden boot. I don't think.
I feel like there are a lot of times during the NBA Finals, even during the World Series, sometimes we start talking about before it's over. You're like, wait a minute. Even if they don't win, this guy, Gary Sheffield has 8 hits in the World Series so far. He might get it even if they lose. I don't know why I went Gary Sheffield, but
why not?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, perfect example.
Bat speed, unbelievable bat speed.
Yeah,
some of a lot of people don't know that, but in the minor leagues, he started that big flip, where he threw the bat away
because his bat was too fast.
It's exactly right. And we've talked about this before, haven't we?
Probably. I heard it somewhere.
It's 100% exactly why it was. His hands were so fast that they were trying to slow his bat down.
It worked.
You ain't kidding. Old boy could smoke a ball. You know who Gary Sheffield is, Parker?
Yeah, he's in the show 22.
He's in show 22. You ever see him bat? Does he got no, you haven't seen him bat. Yeah. Chef was a power hitter for sure. Played for the Fish back in the day, quite a couple other teams.
Let me ask you this.
Ask me.
Real quick, last thing, soccer. Is it called the Pele Golden Boot or anything like that? You know how they renamed
they renamed MVP, all of the MVP. I believe it's just called the Golden Boot.
It's the Golden Boot.
We can do. I mean,
you don't have to worry about that. I was leading to. I just saw Pele is going to be spending Christmas in the hospital. Why would I bring this up on this?
Pele's still alive. What didn't he play like in 1920s or something?
It sounds like it's getting close, but yeah. The poor guy has the old C word and he's in the hospital now. I just saw that right before I came over here. But the greatest soccer player ever.
It's the Castrol Golden Boot.
The motor oil? Castrol motor oil?
Couldn't tell you. I just that's what I got.
Gotcha. Anyway, Pele is still alive. And he got a chance to watch the finals of the World
Who
Cup,
did Pele? Do we know who Pele played for?
Brazil.
He's Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So Brazil's always awesome, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that who? That's who Ronaldo plays for, maybe.
I don't know. Parker, you know
that?
You got FIFA, don't you?
I have FIFA 21 and 22.
Oh yeah, well 21, 22.
Oh,
there
it's
you go.
that old then.
So anyway, I don't know. I feel like that dude. Why is Pele so well known? Did he win like 5 straight?
I think he's the greatest
Cups?
soccer player to ever live.
Not anymore. Now it's Lionel Messi.
Think so?
I don't know. Sure.
I don't know either.
You know what? Yeah, I'm saying it. Messi's the greatest on this podcast right now. Hot take. Messi's the greatest soccer player to ever lace them up.
Are you sure it's Lionel Messi?
No, I'm not sure. Not even a little bit sure. Do you know what it is?
I think it's Lionel Messi.
Oh, all right. Well, Lionel, whatever his name is, Messi. Right now, I'm saying it, greatest soccer player ever.
You're
about-
crazy.
What about Cristiano Ronaldo?
What about who?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think Ronaldo is a great player, but he's no Messi.
Well,
Pele's got more assists. Pele's got more rebounds. Pele shoots a better field goal percentage.
100% better field goal percentage. Sure, but does he do the little things for his team? Does he run the team like a John Stockton? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I feel like he's a better point guard than John Stockton is.
I think he gets loose balls. I think he.
I feel like he's always on the ground diving after loose balls. He gets his foot on a lot of tip passes. He's
Mhm.
he
I mean-
does the little things.
We haven't even mentioned head balls yet.
No. 300 head balls this year. Led the league in head
Oh,
balls.
this-
Led the
We
league
still
in head
talking
balls.
about Pele, or are we talking? Oh,
I'm talking about Messi.
Messi. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pele only had 245 in his
245.
World Cup
Okay.
that he
so
won. Messi 302. He broke the 3 bill mark on head balls.
that's impressive. Also, Messi also has more handballs. That's all I'm saying.
You know what though? If you look at the handballs he got, a couple of them could have went on the old no call way. Like it was completely what's the word I'm looking for when people's feet get tangled up and they don't throw a flag. It was incidental contact.
Incidental.
The ball was kicked so hard right at him. He had no choice. He wasn't getting out of the way. He didn't move.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets you just above the elbow. you
Yeah.
know?
Is that a handball?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Why don't they call it an arm ball? If it can hit you like in the forearm, why is it not called an arm ball?
if it hits you like right here, is that a handball?
That Parker, I'm telling you right now, that's the question everybody wants to know the answer to.
Like if it's literally like right the ball,
What
the
are
corner
you
of the
pointing
ball's
at?
right
There's
here.
some people listening to this right now that can't see the video. So you got to tell us, what are you pointing at?
Like
What
I'm
is that?
pointing like right.
What is that? Your wrist?
Yeah,
Like
my
in the
wrist.
wrist area?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a handball.
like right. Here.
100% that's a handball.
I think it is. you're
So
right.
what we've just noticed is that none of us know anything about soccer. It is what it is, and I say we move on to Christmas. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm totally good with that.
If you've been listening this far, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We've got plenty more to come. All right, so let's get on. It's Christmas week. It's Wednesday, December 21st. Christmas is on December 25th. Parker,
This year it is.
this year it is. This year it's on the 25th.
Does it change every year?
It does not. It's always on the 25th. It does change days though. Not the day of the month, but the day of the week. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay. So, Parker, my question for you. What's the greatest Christmas present you've ever got?
Does birthday count?
Nope.
Mm.
If I wanted you to tell me what your favorite birthday present was, I would have said, Parker, what's your favorite birthday present? Instead, do you remember what I asked you? I asked you, what's your favorite Christmas present?
This is hard.
It is hard. I gave you the question earlier though, so you could remember to think about it. Do you, Adam? Let's start with you. You think about what your favorite Christmas present is. Think about it. I'm going to ask Adam. Adam, favorite Christmas present you ever got?
I've got to go between a Nintendo, the original Nintendo.
The original, yeah, the OG.
I think we got it. I don't know. After everybody else I knew had it for a year or two.
Sure.
And then the first time we got a computer, that might have been up there, but I'd definitely say Nintendo. And then there were a couple years there that we got at least 3 or 4 starting lineups.
Oh,
And those were such a big part of our
so
lives.
big.
Those are the 2 things I remember. You know, I got a bike one year. I got a bunch of good stuff, man. But between the Nintendo and the starting lineups, those are the ones that jump out at me.
My boombox had to be the best.
Mhm.
That boombox, I just got rid of it. I got it when I was like in 6th grade, and I just got rid of it because the volume stopped working. So
Sure
it was
did.
just always on 25, which is the loudest.
Okay.
I couldn't, as soon as you turn it on, it was just blaring.
And when you're older now, you're like, oh
I-
gosh,
I put it in. I put it in the garage, thinking I have some tunes to listen to, and it's just no. It's a no go out there. So just got rid of it. I spliced the wires and hooked up a couple big speakers off of it, and I had speakers in all 4 corners of my room back in the day, back in the old attic days when I was forced to live in the attic like Quasimodo. Parker, have you thought about it, bud? What do you think your favorite Christmas present of all time is?
It's probably the FIFA 22 and 2K 22 for Christmas and the Switch for the Switch.
Oh, and you played a lot of FIFA on the Switch, but 2K, let's be honest. What is your favorite video game to play?
On my Switch right now.
No. Xbox, Switch, anything. What is your all-time favorite video game to play?
Probably Madden.
Madden. Taking Madden over the show. You're taking Madden over 2K, NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. There you
Okay.
go. All right.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah, I do. I would have thought that you would have said NBA 2K,
Especially Madden 23.
especially the new one. Everybody wants the new one, right? I mean, the new one's always the best one.
Yeah.
Do we have Madden 23?
Yes.
We do. Nice. Is that when I beat you in that, didn't I?
No, I beat you 4 straight times.
Yeah, but,
And the
but
truth comes out.
the truth comes out. Here's the deal. When you get old, okay, and like I grew up with video games, in the middle of my life, and thought I was pretty good. And Parker at last year at the age of like 8 or 9 started beating me. So I had to step my game up. I used to kind of every now and then when he was like 4 or 5 years old, I'd let you win some. I'd pull my defense back. I'd kind of dive the wrong way.
It's because I'm 4.
Exactly. But now it's a dogfight. But let's be honest. You might be able to whoop me in Madden, but you don't stand. I kick your behind no matter who I have in the show. You can't beat me in the show.
True.
True. That's right.
There we go.
That's right. 2K though, NBA 2K, you got me too. I'll never forget the first time he beat me in NBA 2K. I went downstairs and I looked at Aaron and I said, he legit beat I didn't back off at all. Like he legit just beat me. And I was like heartbroken. Like, what just happened? How did I lose to a 7-year-old? How did this happen?
He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does. Parker, how old are you now?
9.
9 years old.
Man.
Unbelievable. Where the time goes. So what's the biggest thing you got? We got anything big going on for Christmas there, Adam Schmidt?
A few of the regular old family parties. We've got our big one on our side. I've got a big family on Dad's side, and we do an annual thing, and then we'll get together for our little, what do you call that? Close family.
The immediate family.
And the good thing is this year I think we have them spread out, so it's like the 23rd, 24th, 26th. So we don't have to try to go 2 places in one day. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, we try to do the same thing. It never happens, but we try to do the same thing. The 26th is the big how we are related, our mothers, our sisters, and how we're related. That's a big one. It's the day after Christmas this year.
Yeah.
We do a tool exchange forever.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's officially no longer a tool exchange because you can't buy a tool for $25 that everybody and their brother doesn't have already.
Right. That's true.
Can I get an idea of just give me for what you got? Can I just get a category?
No, you can't. Because I don't have it yet.
I just got mine today.
I mean, the old boy still has.
Dude, mine's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Well, I mean, is it reflector dumb or is it?
Oh, Adam did bring reflectors to a tool exchange where there's torches, there's like people have brought
shop vacs.
I brought a shop vac, I brought a torch, there's been lots of real tools involved. And Adam brought reflectors
for a few years. For the first few years we did that, I was being rebellious because I was like, this is so silly. I'm 20 years old. I don't need a drill yet. I don't need whatever. I don't remember how old I was when we
Yeah.
started, but I'm like, tools, really? I don't care about that yet. And I think we were all in it for some reason. I thought it was too early, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought we should have done the D for a while. We were doing
You
tool
said
or DVD,
Yep.
something like
White
that.
Chicks was a big one that I think came back to the exchange a couple times.
I had for the longest time, I ended up with the triple feature Romance 101 or something like that, where it was like 3 chick flicks.
It's so awesome.
And I had that for years, and I kept trying to give it away, and nobody wanted
We
it.
had to get rid of that because it got out of hand. It got out of hand. So this year is totally different. This is just mail, whatever. You just,
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm being told. It doesn't have to be
Oh.
DVDs, doesn't have to be a tool. I'm sure there's going to be, I know for a fact there's going to be at least one bottle of bourbon in it.
Sure, yeah.
Not from me,
Yeah.
but there'll be something there. So this is going to be a big old mixture of a big old melting pot of stuff.
Okay, that'll make it more interesting. I think it's going to be harder to find a gift because now I'm like, okay, now everything is open.
Mm-hmm.
Now what do I do? You know, gift card maybe.
The gift card's not a bad. That's not a bad.
I
shot.
love getting a
In
gift card.
fact, for a couple of years, a Home Depot gift card, like the $25 Home Depot gift card, was a popular stolen item during the gift exchange.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Question for Parker. Parker, name your favorite Christmas movie.
Elf.
No, that's a staple in the Whitt household.
Can't beat
brother.
it. Can't beat it.
It's a staple. Name the prettiest character in a Christmas movie. The cutest girl in any Christmas movie. We were just upstairs watching one.
I forget what his name is.
Noelle. The Noelle. Yeah, it's got the guy from Barry and the girl from the cup thing where she does the cup song and she's singing and acapella. What's it called? No? You have no idea, do you?
I don't know that one.
No.
I don't know, but I'll throw Zoe Deschanel from Elf in there.
Dude, Zoe Deschanel, great. She plays a great I don't know what her name is, but she does a good job in that one.
Yeah.
The girl in Elf
What was her name?
who sings in the shower. And Elf is watching her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like in the bathroom.
Well, he didn't watch
with
her.
He was in the bathroom
sang.
with her and sang.
Yeah.
That's pretty different.
Which leads me to my next question.
Okay.
Parker, both of you, favorite Christmas song.
That's a good one.
You go first.
I'm either a Jingle Bells or a Rudolph guy. Jingle
Okay.
Bells is always fun because you got the Batman smells and Robin laid an egg.
Sure. both
Rudolph's
of them.
always good because you got all the different stuff. Except for I didn't realize this, but the kids. So the other day we had a Christmas song concert for the little girls, and we all had to sing Jingle Bells. And or Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer, reindeer. I always like being that extra, right? Like had a very shiny nose. And if you anyway, so then it was at the very end. How's it end? It ends with you'll go down in history like the Indians. We used to say that.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like that's
Can't
as
do
soon as I
that.
said it, I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm allowed saying that anymore. So we go down in history. What do you guys say when you're in class and you do all the extra stuff? Like you say, Rudolph had a very shiny nose like a light bulb. Like that part.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys say at the very end?
We just say, and he will go down to his story, and then we just stop there.
Oh, you just stop. So there's no extra anymore.
So they sing the actual song.
So they sing. Did you guys do that, Adam, when you were in class back in the day?
I think so. I don't know if we did it in class, but probably singing it everywhere else.
Like music class. You didn't know. So we used to do we used to sit in the back of music class and go, Rudolph the red-nosed cowboy had a very shiny gun. And if you ever saw it, something, 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 and run, you get scared and or something like that.
All right.
We don't do
I
that
haven't
one
heard that
anymore.
one.
We don't do that one anymore.
I mean, I've heard grandma got run over by reindeer and
oh, it's
all
a
that.
good one. Have you ever heard Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I heard it. I haven't heard the song though.
Okay, so what's your favorite Christmas song?
Probably Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's your number one? Well, then I'm going to go Jingle Bells. You know why I like Jingle Bells?
Why?
Because of the way it starts out. Do you know how Jingle Bells starts, Parker?
Jingle bells.
Nope. Dashing through the snow
Mm.
in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the hill. I love that. I
Yeah,
like it. I'll
dashing
get
is
into
a
it.
good start.
It's a great start. I feel
Yeah.
like it's almost like Dancer and Prancer and Comet and Vixen.
You
Dash
say
through the
you
snow.
say it like so low.
Yeah, you
like-
think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like. Never mind.
Dashing through the snow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
dashing
like
through the
that.
snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
I like
Yeah,
that.
You
it
just,
is.
I like
you just say it low.
You think it's low? Yeah, well, sometimes you
little-
gotta do what you
little
gotta do,
effect.
man. It does. Yeah, I'm just trying to, bring out the dash to it. It's a dash of this and a dash of that. Well, I mean, it's Christmas. I hope everybody out there has a good Christmas. We appreciate you listening to the podcast. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We'll be on before New Year's.
Yeah, we will
We'll be on before New Year's. So we'll do a New Year's podcast next week.
for sure.
So let's get into probably what are my two. Do you have any more Christmas questions?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So let's, you know what we should do now?
What's that?
We should probably do our NFL picks.
I'd love to.
You love to?
Yep.
Parker, do you want to pull up your, so as everybody that listens to the podcast knows, we get on the ESPN app on Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the spreads from the ESPN app Wednesday. It's just what we do, right? We're not doing any special Vegas thing, but if you go to the ESPN app and you go to scores, NFL, it'll give you a list of the games and the spread is going to be next to it. I'm going to help you out here, P, because you're going to pick 3 games against the spread this week. And I'm going to show you what they are, but we're going to start off. We're going to let Adam go first. Okay. Adam, do you want to tell us what happened last week?
No, I don't, Chris, because I went 0-3 and you went 3-0.
Oh, let's go.
We'll just make-
baby. 3-bagger in the house. I've been on fire. We are currently, so there's like, we're in we pick 3 games every week. I pick a game. My dad picks a game. My cousin picks a game. My buddy picks a game. And we had our first 0 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
And we were getting up there. We were like in 15th place out of, I want to say like 600 or something like that.
wow.
We were up there. And we got our first 0. And if you get 3, you get an extra point. So 3 right is actually 4 points. So you get 0, 1, 2, or 4. So that getting 3 right's huge.
Yeah.
Pulled it right back, yanked a 4 out of the bag. We are currently in 8th place.
Out of how many?
We're 8 points behind number 1 in like 46th place. But that's how close the top is. I want to say it's 600 or more. But
Wow.
we're in the top echelon. Pulled out a big 4-bagger this weekend. We got 3 weeks left. Is that right, Parker? Is there 7? How many weeks are there in the NFL now? 18 weeks?
Yeah, but that 18th week is like a breathing break.
Like a breathing break for the better teams, right? They get a little breather for some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a chance to win some big money in this, bro. Big
Nice.
money. I probably shouldn't have said anything. I'll knock on some wood right now. But yeah, so you know how we won this week, how we got our 4.
How's that?
I'm gonna tell you how we did it. So
Oh, I think I know.
so one of them picked I can't remember who the game. One of them picked the Jags. One of them picked the Bengals, and then I picked the Raiders. And I'm like, I'm gonna lose it for us. I'm gonna lose this game for us. The Raiders were an underdog, but only like a point or 2. And I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen. This is so annoying. And sure enough, the very last play of the game. Did you see the last play of the Patriots Raiders game?
I sure did.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that, Parker? There's 0 reason for this to happen. Go to overtime, right? You do your 1 flip, maybe a second, and then you just try to make a move to the end zone.
Yeah.
You don't throw the ball 25 yards across the field behind you.
Cross court pass.
And a former Patriot catches the ball on the Raiders, runs up and gives Mac Jones a stiff arm that put him 6 feet under the ground, and then runs into the end zone. Raiders win with no time left on the clock. We get our 4-bagger and move on to week 15. Is we in week 15 now?
This is going to be week 16 here. Yeah.
All right, going into week 16.
Yep.
All right, so that's big. So what is the actual score now? Because I was only up like 2 games on you.
You're up 7 games on me now. So because I was 0-3 the week before as well. So I'm 0-6 from my last 2 weeks.
Man, that's a rough run, bro.
16-23 for yours truly, and 22-17 for you.
So it's kind of funny. So I listened to a lot of ESPN on the radio, and Mike Greenberg has picks of the week.
Yep.
And what he calls himself the KOD, right? Kiss of death. So what he does is he goes completely against himself. They say a game, he will talk it out and say who he thinks is going to win, and then they automatically go with the opposite. And he is doing pretty well going with the opposite. It might be time, brother. It might be time for you to.
Yeah, probably. But I still, mathematically am not eliminated.
No,
so
you're not out.
I'm going to shoot for it.
So
I'm gonna keep going.
Let's give it a go. You want to start us off? How does this work? Who starts it off? The winner starts it off, so you can pick. Why don't you start? You already got your 3 picked. You start off that way. I won't take any.
I've got them picked. You can still take.
I picked. That's right. Was there 2 games last week that we picked the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good, bro. That's not good.
But you picked opposite. No, there was 1 game.
There's only 1 game. I remember picking the opposite.
There were 2.
There was. Yeah.
It was New England and the Raiders.
I took the Raiders,
and it was Detroit and the Jets.
Yes.
I had the Jets. You had Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. I love it. Let's win some more ball games. What's my record now?
22-17.
It's still, it's not super impressive, but it's doable. It's doable.
Still picking 3 a week, every week. That's over 500 is pretty good.
Yes. I'll take it. Making money,
black.
Baby. We're making money.
That's right.
All right.
I'm starting with Miami is at home against Green Bay. Miami's a 4-point favorite, and I'm going to take Miami.
Real quick. Parker, I'm going to show you a number on while you're looking at these. He just said 4-point favorite. Did you hear him say that?
Mm-hmm.
So you look down here, Cincinnati -3 in this Bengals Patriots game. That means Cincinnati is the favorite by 3 points. So if you pick Cincinnati, they have to win by 4 for you to get the W. And if it's +3, they only show the favorites on here. So it doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're going to be going up next. So pay attention to what that number says there. All right, Adam, who's number 2 for you?
We have the New York Giants at Minnesota, and Minnesota's a 4-point favorite at home.
Okay.
I'm going with the 4 theme here, and I'm taking Minnesota.
All right, another 4-point game. All right, I like it.
And then I do not like big road underdogs, big spreads, or big road favorites with big spreads. But I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo with 8.5 at Chicago.
Ooh, not going to take the home dog in that one, huh?
Not going to take the home dog.
Buffalo slightly struggling, maybe just a little bit. And you're still going to do, last week giving up 20, you're going to give up points to the Dolphins, but 32-29, look like the Dolphins might get them. And then the week before that, what did the Bills do? They beat the brakes off the Jets. 13 was the one, wasn't it? Is that the week they lost? They just lost the game in the last few weeks. Yeah, there you go. That's the Patriots. They beat them. All right, the Bills are good. It just is what it is.
All those years, the Bills weren't very good, and the Patriots were the best team in the league, and the Bills would beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Roles reversed this year.
Roles
although
reversed.
New England's not bad, but anyway, those are my 3.
All right, Parker, what do you got, bub?
Can I just pick any team?
You can pick any game. So you think's going to win?
The Seahawks and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Um,
So the Chiefs are a 10-point favorite.
Why don't we go? What do you think the score of that game is going to be? Try it that way.
probably 21-10.
21-10. So is that who you think the Chiefs are going to win or the Seahawks?
The Chiefs.
So you're going to take the Chiefs minus 10 then. All right. I like it. All right. That's a good start.
Good work.
Goes 11 point, you chose 11-point victory, which means with a 10-point spread, you would win by 1. I'm teaching my son how to gamble on the Nosebleed Sports podcast as we speak. And he's probably going to beat all of us. All right,
This is
Parker.
not actually for money, just so everybody knows.
Yes. But if you want to bet it, I wouldn't blame you.
Sure.
Parker. Starting January 1st, you can bet in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Pete. What do you got next?
Saints and the Browns.
Saints and Browns. Who are you taking, bub?
Browns.
What do you think the score is going to be?
Probably 27-17.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're taking the Browns minus 2.5 with a big win over the Saints. I like it.
No, actually, I think it's gonna be 25-28.
Okay, that's 3 point. Do you think Cleveland's going to win still?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you still got the 2.5 covered. That's a 3-point win. So you're still taking Cleveland. Good. I like it. All right. Next.
Texans and Titans.
Texans and Titans. All right. What do we got for the Texans and Titans?
Probably gonna be a blowout.
You think so?
Yeah,
Who do you think's going to win that game?
Titans.
All right. What's the score going to be?
21-3.
All right. What is the spread on that game? You remember the 3 points, right?
Yeah.
So you're winning by 17 there or 18. So you got the Titans in that one. All right. All favorites for Parker Whitt. I like it. Good
Those are
work.
good picks.
Those are good picks. I like all of them. Yeah. All right. We'll see how you do next week. I'll get this thing kicked off here. The Cincinnati Bengals go into New England. Joey football just beat the GOAT this past week, and there's a lot of talk about the GOAT. And now he's going to go up against the GOAT's former team.
Mhm.
It's going to be in New England. It's going to be cold. However, the Bengals been playing some cold games. They are a 3-point favorite. I'm taking the Bengals in this game. I think the Bengals come out. They know they need to continue to win because they want a first round bye, and they are within. If they can win out, they will have the tiebreaker against the Bills and against the Ravens. Not only will that happen, but I also will have picked their season correct record for the year if that goes down, which means there's a very good chance we could get to hear the golden pipes of Andre Edwards.
Oh, God, I'm so excited.
We just hooday just a little bit here, boys. We need some dubs.
You were the only one that correctly picked the win against Tampa Bay between the three of us.
Yes.
You also have a loss coming up this week against New England, and he and I both picked wins. So if the Bengals lose, if the Bengals win, you get credit on this one. If they lose, you get credit on that other one.
I don't mind because if they win, I don't need the credit for that because I'm the only one that had them at 13-4. I actually have an extra game that I can lose before you guys get there.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with a dub on this one. I'm fine with not guessing it correctly because I'm getting closer to my correct total, which is the first thing that we bet on.
Right.
I want the total right. So you don't try to talk me out of this.
No, I'm telling you, either way, you're good.
All right. So after that, we are going to go. Let's take a look at some of these games. You've got Lions and Panthers. The Lions have been playing really good football. They're in Carolina. Probably, you know what? This is another one for me. This is an easy game. It's 2.5 points. The Lions come out and win this game by a touchdown or more. They're playing great football right now, and they just continue to win football games. They're becoming a playoff competitor type of team. I mean, they could win. They still could win their division, I believe. No, the Vikings are in that division. They can't maybe not win their division, but they're still in the playoff hunt. And then my last game, let's look at the last game here. Tampa Bay is in Arizona. I don't like that game at all. I don't trust either of those teams, especially with Kyler Murray out. The Rams have Baker Mayfield right now going up. That's a terrible game. I don't want to even look at that game. I don't even want to even talk about that game. I can't stand Baker Mayfield. I don't know why I don't like Baker Mayfield. I think it's because he doesn't like he's got no problem throwing his teammates under the bus and he gets upset about things.
He threw a 99-yarder touchdown.
Sometimes people throw 99-yard touchdowns, man. He didn't throw the ball 99 yards though.
I
That
know.
was on the receiver.
Yeah,
the receiver did the
Yeah,
work.
he caught it, then he ran to the touchdown.
Yeah, the receiver did the work. All Baker did was throw a little 12-yard out. I mean, that's no big deal. Anybody could. I could throw that ball. On that note, we've got Giants and Vikings. The Vikings are 4-point favorite at home against New York. Not going to jump on that game. I've got my game. It's tomorrow. So anybody that's been betting me, I feel bad for you because you're probably not going to listen to this in time. But tomorrow, Thursday, prime time, 8:15, two average teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets, play in New York. The Jets are 1.5-point favorites. Terrible time management this week by the Jets, and they lost a game that they easily could have won with Zach Wilson that everybody can't stand there because he doesn't know how to take. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the right way to conduct a press conference. He threw three. They had like 4 or 5 turnovers. And did you hear that the interview where he's after the game? They asked him. They said, "Do you think the offense let the defense down because the defense was phenomenal?" And he said, "No, absolutely don't." And, well, you threw 4 picks and there was like another 2 fumbles. Yeah, you 100% did. He's like, but he's just very arrogant. So anyway, a lot of people don't like him. He can make some really good plays though. He's the kid for as bad as it is to watch him try to make a normal throw, like an easy throw. He all of a sudden will make these spectacular sidearm running out of the pocket dimes 40 yards down the field. That being said, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars getting 1.5 in New York. Let's go Jags. I took the Jags and the Lions in the same week. I didn't think that would ever happen, but I'm taking the Jags and the Lions.
Did you happen to see, speaking of the Lions, the video, maybe this is old and I just happened to see it somewhere on the internet, the people from the Hall of Fame going to Calvin Johnson's house and surprising him to tell him that he's
really
just saw that last night. I think it was really cool.
I did not
Really
see
cool.
that.
So I guess he was part of I don't know if he's this year or last year, and they didn't have a ceremony last year. Maybe this might have been the year before because of COVID or whatever.
Sure.
So there's a huge class going in either last year or this year. And I don't know. I just happened to I might have been on, I forget what it was on, but just scrolling through something and it was on there. It was a nice long video. And the guy that's like in charge at the Hall of Fame knocks on his door and he answers and he's like, doesn't know what's going on. And, and then his son walks by and the guy's trying to talk to his son and his dog comes up and stuff like that. It's all really cool. But they
Old
get him
Megatron.
out. Yeah, they all come out on the porch and they're talking about it. And he starts tearing up. That's really cool.
That's so
Really,
cool,
really
man. It's us, the surprise, the true initial reaction of anybody when something like that goes down is really, really cool.
Oh, it gets me every time.
There's no doubt about it.
The guys getting the Hall of Fame call. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Love it.
It's like being the first pick in the draft, or
it's like when the minor leaguer gets called up for the first time.
Oh,
that gets me
and then
every time.
walks up and gets a hit in his first at bat. And he's standing on first, and they show his parents.
Oh
who
my
made
god.
the trip. I love it.
All right.
Mom's crying.
All right, I'm gonna water your floor here.
All right.
That
brings us to the last 2 segments of the podcast. Parker, do you know what we do for the last 2 segments of the podcast? Do you know?
No.
The first one is the Mount Rushmore. This week's Mount Rushmore is the Mount Rushmore of ESPN. This is SportsCenter commercials.
That's right.
Parker, do you want to start with maybe something that you really liked? You may not have 4 that you picked, but you did watch quite a few of them today. Do you got any that you thought were pretty cool?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
The one that Kobe was eating those snacks
Yeah.
and this guy like talked about him and stuff.
Yeah, so Kobe walks up to the snack machine, hits the button, and Stuart Scott and one of the other guys is off to the side, and they go, "Oh, that's exactly what Michael would have picked."
Love
And then
that
he
one.
then he goes and he picks it out and he opens it. And he goes, "Oh, just like MJ." And then he pops a little thing and looks at him, and they're just staring at him. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it.
Yep. Love that one.
Any others that stuck out to you? What else?
The Steph Curry one.
Which one? He's
Where-
been in a couple.
Yeah, the one that he said the cooking curry and the chicken curry.
Yes. Curry soup or whatever, and the chicken. Thank you so much, guys. It means so much to me. I do it for guys like you, man. It's like 24 and 10 and chicken curry. Last week I dropped 54. They had curry soup, man. It's just it's so great. And at the very end, the two cooks back there go, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah.
I don't know, but he really likes the chicken curry. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yep. Any others that stuck out to you? No? All right, Adam, you want to go first on this? You got anything that sticks
You
out
go
to you?
for it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't write down 4.
It's okay.
I'm going to go off. I'm going to start talking these out,
Do it.
and let's come up with 4.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you know what? One that I didn't see, and it is what it is. All right, it's one of my favorites. I didn't see it when I was watching all these. Maybe it's because everybody's scared to put them in anything. But the Lance Armstrong electric running, like the bicycle running the electricity for the entire building. I love that one. I think that's hilarious. Stuart Scott or somebody's up there working and the lights start flickering, go out, walks to the basement. Lance is sitting on a bike, relaxing, taking a drink of water. Oh, sorry. I thought everybody was gone for the day. It's like, oh, it's all right. All right. And then he gets back on the bike, starts pedaling, and the lights come on. I'm putting that on there. That's going on for me. I know that Lance Armstrong is a nixed personality in the world, but I'm still going with it.
Good commercial.
Good commercial. Now here's what we got. A lot. I was telling some of the dads and some of the other people, and I'll give you some of the ones that I was hearing a lot of people liking. A lot of people, in fact, almost every person that we were all talking about it, all individually mentioned the Devils. The devil getting in, whoever it is gets into the elevator. The devil's already in there, and he says, "Going up," and he just looks at him, shakes his head no, and guy gets right out of the elevator because the devil's going down.
I love that one.
That's a good one. The George Foreman where somebody says he's like the 50th best boxer to ever come out of the state of Georgia or whatever, and he starts chasing him around. Come here and get this whooping. That's one. You've got, I like the LeBron James one where he comes in and he sits down early, young LeBron and the Cavs. And he sits
Long
down.
shorts
Yes,
LeBron.
long shorts LeBron. And he sits in the chair and he's like his knees are up by his chin. And he walks next cubicle next over, and there's Stuart Scott sitting in a throne. And he goes, "You didn't happen to change chairs with me, did you?" No. Nope, nope, sure didn't. He says, "Oh, okay. Good luck finding your chair." Love that one. That's a great one. There's a GSP, George St. Pierre one. That's a good one with the Post-it note. Scott Van Pelt. I think there's a lot with Van Pelt. Van Pelt wants to borrow a Post-it note, and he goes, "Come on in and get it." Nah, I'll just write it on my hand. Closes the octagon. That's a good one. A lot of the early ones didn't necessarily have an athlete in it every time. And there's one where they talk about, it's hard. We get done, we still got to talk to the media, but we do it pretty professionally. And Trey Wingo's on there. Yeah. And then Dan Patrick's on there. And he's like, it's tough, but we get done. We go home just like everybody else does, or something like that. And they got their towel. They're in the locker room afterwards with towels on, no shirts. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Another one I'm going to put on. I'm going for number 2. Number 2 that I'm 100% putting on is and somebody was talking about this, and this is probably my favorite. I think we talked about it last week. before when we first talked about it was the Jorge Posada and David Ortiz are sitting in there. David Ortiz is like, "What's wrong with your hat?" And he's like, "What?" It's like it's brand new out of the box. Or no, one of the Sportscenter guys says that. He goes, "I'm a catcher, man. I don't have to wear that." David Ortiz kind of works it in a little bit, puts it on, and immediately turns around, and right outside the conference room is Wally. I don't know what his name is, but he goes, but that guy, the mascot just looks at him and like turns around. He goes, "Wally, it's not what it looks like." I love that. Big Poppy and Jorge Posada. I'm going with that for number 2. Let's talk this thing out. What else we got, Adam? Give me some more.
Oh my gosh, so many.
There's so many. The Dale Earnhardt when he asked Dale Earnhardt for directions somewhere. He said, so you go straight about a half mile, maybe a mile, and make a left. You can go around a bend, and you can go about another half mile, maybe a mile. You can make another left, and he draws it. It's just the horseshoe. That's a great one.
Yep.
Oh man, that's good.
There's another one with a driver that I don't know who it is, but somebody gets out of their car after they park and they're walking through the parking lot and he's pickaxing the
Jimmy
speed
Johnson.
bump as well. Was it Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah.
He's pickaxing the speed bump away.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Parker, is there any more that you remember? Oh, how about Joey Votto's got one? A young Joey Votto. I don't remember this one, but I can't remember the guy's name, but he's looking in the mirror, one of the Sportscenter anchors.
Was it Carl Ravitch?
It was Ravitch. You're right. It was Ravitch. Ravi's looking in there and he's looking at his completely shaved face and he goes, it's coming in pretty good. I think I'm going to win the mustache contest this year. And Joey Votto's washing his hands. He's like, "Oh yeah, good." And then Mr. Redleg comes in with that mustache and he goes, and Joey Votto says, "Yeah, good luck with that." And then turns around, walks away. He goes, "I'm getting you this year, big guy." That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many of these.
Yep.
I
mean, you mentioned 8 of them. You've got 2 Mount Rushmores there.
You know what? I think I'm going to go with Parker. I think I'm going to go with the Curry one, the Steph Curry in there. I like that. All right, I got the 4th one. I know what it is. I didn't even remember. So I didn't watch this one until after practice, but it was reminded to me while we were at practice. Great one. Arnold, another inside the cafeteria. Arnold Palmer sitting there getting lemonade, goes right next and gets the iced tea and walks away. And I think it's Stuart Scott and Scott Van Pelt again.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That was the greatest thing I've ever seen." Yeah. Something like this. This is so hilarious. And of course he's got his caddy with him too. So yeah. Arnold Palmer makes an Arnold Palmer and then walks away with his caddy. And they're like, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen." Yeah. It's so awesome. I'm putting that on there. That's going to be that'll be number 4. So I'll put Curry's on there and I'll put that on there. The LeBron. Oh no, wait. Yeah. No. We'll take Curry off. We'll do the LeBron with the chair.
Yep.
We're going to do the Lance Armstrong. We're going to do the Jorge Posada, David Ortiz, and the Arnold Palmer.
Beautiful. Great list. All right. I think I was going to put the GSP one on there.
Yeah.
You mentioned it. So I've got 4 other ones that you didn't mention. So I'm going to use those.
Okay. So real quick.
Yeah.
We just talked about the World Cup. There's one with Landon.
I love Landon Donovan.
Landon Donovan. That's a good one. He's like, "What is going on? What's wrong with this thing?"
He's trying to make it just a regular copy.
And a yellow card spits out. And then because he kicks it. And then a yellow card kicks out and he goes, "Are you kidding? I didn't even do anything." And then a red card kicks out. And he's like, "Come on, guys." It turns around. I love that. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Great idea. Okay. I'm going to go. So I love every single one that both of you guys mentioned. The GSP one's super good. I wrote that one down.
You were a big George St. Pierre fan.
I was a huge George St. Pierre fan. MMA in general back in the day. Now, Josh Hamilton was in a couple of them.
Yeah, he was in a couple.
2010 to 12, probably when he was a superstar. So there's one that he walks into a guy's cubicle and I forget who it was, but one of the Sportscenter anchors, and he's got a donut, like a batting weight donut on his wrist or whatever. Yes. And he's typing and he's like, the big dog runs and jumps in the field or something
scary
like that.
fox or something.
Yeah. And he's like, And then Josh Hamilton's like, all right, here. And he holds out his bat and the guy takes it off his wrist and he puts the
both
donut on his
donuts
bat.
on it.
He's like, all right, now give it a try. Josh Hamilton says, and so he's like, the big dog does it, and he types it out really fast.
Wow.
He's like, that's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
Did you see the Tim Linson one? Where he's
Yes,
doing the voicemail and he's like, "Hey, this is the freak. Leave a message." And he goes, "Hey, this is Timmy Franchise. Leave him." And he's like, "No, that's not it." And then he says, "This is Timmy Bob Joe." Oh, nobody calls me that. And then he keeps going, and somebody walks by. "Hey, Timmy Bob Joe." I thought that was good. There's also the Clayton Kershaw sitting in there having a
That's
conversation.
another one.
Okay, go ahead.
So, who I forget who it was again. The SportsCenter anchor is at his desk, and he realizes something's going on around him on the floor. Maybe there might be a couple of Kershaw ones.
Okay.
So he's like, he looks back, and there's something shoots up from out of the floor and sticks up on the ceiling, and he looks up and there's a pencil, 2 or 3 pencils up there.
Yeah.
Then another one comes up and shoots through the floor and goes all and sticks in the ceiling. And he's like, so he like gets up real carefully and like walks around the little circle where these pencils are flying up out of the floor. And then it pans down to the bottom, to the floor underneath. And Kershaw is just there on the phone ordering something or whatever. And he's just like flicking a pencil a little bit, and he's just playing with it, and he just kind of like flicks it up with his left hand, and it goes up and it fires through the floor, sticks in the ceiling on the second floor.
Love that.
Such a good one. I'm going another baseball one. I'm going all baseball here almost.
I love it.
Jason Hayward has a bat and he's talking to 2 of the other guys.
Oh,
and he's like,
do you remember this one, Parker? The one with the wood bat with the tree in the background?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one?
So I think it's the Stanford tree.
The Stanford tree. Yep.
The mascot, and he's just like in the background, but he's listening in on this conversation. And Jason Hayward is telling these guys how bats are made.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, they put it through this wood chipper, and it files it down, and chips of wood are going all over the place. And then
it's a real mess of wood, man. It's a real mess.
Yeah. And he's just like graphically explaining how it gets, whittled down and everything, and the wood gets all destroyed. And as he's going on, you see the thing like start collapsing. and it finally falls down and passes out.
They all turn around, and Scott Van Pelt looks right back and goes, "So how did you get your name on it?"
All lasers.
All lasers. That's a good one.
Really good one. And then number 4, I think I mentioned this last week when we started talking about it. I think one of my favorite NFL players of all time is Larry Fitzgerald, and he might be my favorite receiver ever. And he's walking through the office with somebody, and they're talking about something you don't even notice what they're talking about because he's walking by a desk and somebody knocks a coffee cup off. And he catches it before it hits the ground, puts it back on the desk.
You know what they're talking about?
They're
talking about the guy's haircut.
Oh,
he's like, yeah, what do you do? Did you tip her? I didn't tip her. Well, you probably should tip her, something like that.
And that's perfect.
The haircut.
It's like inconsequential stuff. It's like everyday conversation. And he's just going through, and a plant is too far over on the edge, and it falls off the cabinet or something, and he catches it and puts it back up there, and they're walking through, and suddenly a cheerleader falls, and he catches her in his arms, puts her back up on the ladder. She's hanging a picture or something. Yeah. It was, I love that commercial.
That's a good one.
So anyway, those are my 4: Josh Hamilton, Larry Fitzgerald, Clayton Kershaw, and Jason Hayward.
I love it. Perfect.
That was fun.
Parker, what do you think about that?
I think it's all perfect.
You think it's all perfect? I mean, you could go with so many different ones.
I don't know how many there are total, but there aren't very.
So
there
was
only
one. There's one I watched, and it counted down the top 35 is what it said. It was counting down.
I saw a top 40.
That's insane.
There was only maybe a couple that I was like,
yeah. For the most part,
the
they're
rest of them
all
good.
really good. Yeah. There was a one with I thought it was Mia Hamm. It was Alex Morgan, and then Hope Solo? Hope Solo?
Hope Solo, yeah.
And they're like kicking a ball back and forth, and the guy walks in. He's like, "Hey, can I get in?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And they're just going back and forth to each other. And he's like, "Come on, man, let me go. Stop hogging the ball." And they kick one to him. He misses. He's like, Oh, come on, man. No, you gotta give it to me chest high. You gotta give me a good pass. Yeah, come on. You gotta at least give me a good pass. Come on, I need a chest high. It's so good.
Trying to coach up the professional soccer
Dude,
players.
that is so good. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So that
All right.
was fun.
Good work.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
in turn brings us to the last segment of the day where we watch a comedy special. Parker, you did not watch this comedy special because I would not let you watch it because Sebastian Maniscalco drops a few F-bombs quite often. Not quite often, but enough. But this, what was it called? Do you remember what it was called?
Is it me?
Is it? That's what it was called.
Is it me? I don't even remember him saying that.
I don't either, but that's how he would have said it.
Yeah.
So, dude, so I'll start this off. So this guy has got I like to know if this is how he really talks in real life. With this real thick New York styled slick back hair, and it's a little too much, right? He's always kicking and moving his hands and doing some weird stuff, and it's real jaggedy. That's the word I'm going to come up with.
Okay.
So I like it. But I wonder if that's how he really is in real life. I definitely wonder that, or if that's his stage persona.
I get the feeling it's at least a little bit.
Sure, I'm sure it's overdone a little bit, but I still like it. I like him. He's a funny guy. I did not crack up the whole time. I wasn't like laugh. I did laugh. Mostly good for this. I feel like I'm going to rate this higher than you because a lot of this is like being married and stuff like that. Like a big part of it is about his relationship, and like the whole first, I don't know, however much of it is about his wife annoying him and different stuff like that. And a lot of that is hilarious. The menu, like, get your head in the menu, figure out what you want. And she's like, oh, well, you just go first, babe. All right, I'll take the filet and the mixed vegetables. Binga banga boom. Well, what'd you think it was gonna be? It's not right back to you or whatever. And I'm like cracking up at that. The talking to you as you're walking to the table, you turn around and have a conversation. Yeah. We can do this as soon as we sit down. We've lost the host. We don't even know where our table's at. The super New York accent. I didn't crack up the whole time. I liked it. I definitely laughed. I'm going with I don't do this very often. I don't end with a 0.0. But I'm just going to go with a flat 4.
Okay. That's totally allowed.
I don't like doing even numbers. You know what I did like about this was he wanted it to be, I guess he put it out there like he wanted it to be old school Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, what are the 3 guys called? What are those dudes? The Rat Pack and all that, right? So he wanted to be like old Vegas. So he's got a tux on, and I guess he must have put something in there for people to dress up because there's quite a few suits and other tuxes and stuff and dresses and stuff like that out there. And he thanks everybody for doing that, but not everybody did. So they paid. That was pretty funny, but it was pretty cool. Everybody's dressed up. That's what I'm saying. Like I think some of it's over the top New York, old school New York.
Is it New York or is it Italian? Maybe it's both.
I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
There's a New York Italian though, right? Like Italians aren't all like, from the Bronx, with that's a different type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with everything you said. I've never gotten deep into Sebastian, even though he's huge. But because the clips and stuff, the short things that I've seen of him, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit, the way he does his slowing down his speech and really like going hard on that persona. I don't know. There's something about it I don't love, but I also know he's funny. And so this is the first time I really got, a full hour, start to finish and everything. And he's funny. I mean, there's no question about that. I think he'd be even funnier if he. And you know what? Maybe sometimes he even does that stuff, and that's what makes a joke funny.
Some of
because
it
he
is.
does it
Some of it is
like that. Yeah. Some of his act outs were not very good though.
There were some where I was like, because there was one where he was talking about, his wife, and he like kind of like sits there and he starts kicking his legs out and doesn't say anything. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this doesn't make any sense right now.
Yeah. Right. Yes, I agree. So he did plenty of good stuff. He covered a lot of stuff. Talked about, his kid going to school with a room dad, talking about the room dad. He's in charge of all the dads. And we're gonna forget what they're gonna meet for something. I forget what.
When he said,
open a couple Diet Cokes or something like that.
when he said, he walks in on the first day and goes, "So, what do you think about this lion?"
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "I know, isn't that fabulous?" And he goes, "That's the last time I talked to this guy."
Yeah.
I walked right away from this guy, got out of that one.
All the stuff about the lion in the class was good.
That was good.
The hipster coffee.
That's it.
Yeah, he did a lot of good stuff, a lot of good jokes, and I'm right there with you on the description on how it was, and it made me laugh sometimes, and sometimes it didn't. Gave him a 3.8.
We were right closer than I thought we were going to be.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, 3.8.
For some reason, I didn't know how we were going to be on this one. This to me, this could have went either way with you.
Yeah, I agree. I thought you would like it, and I wasn't sure how I was going to like it.
Yeah, I like this dude. I mean, I've listened to him in the past and liked him before, but
Yeah.
it can get over the top. But
Yeah.
Parker, who do you think is the funniest person you've ever met?
Probably Caden.
Caden, is he? Would you call him a comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think he's a comedian? You think he could really tell a good joke?
Kinda.
What's the best joke you know?
I barely know any.
All right, do you know? Give me one. I'm putting you on the spot.
It's tough
aren't I?
on the spot. It's
I
really
am.
tough. I don't know if I can come up with
Parker's
a joke.
been silent for 20 minutes and we just threw him into it. Parker, we've got one last thing that we have to do on this podcast. And that is we have to come up with a comedy special for next week. Adam's got to do that. And I have to come up with a Mount Rushmore, which means the greatest of all time. Okay. So like the Mount Rushmore of basketball players, you might say Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, right? That might be who your greatest basketball players of all time. His might be Larry Bird, John Stockton, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson. Magic would not be on yours, but I'm just saying it's 4 of the greatest. Can you think of something that you would choose as a Mount Rushmore? Like, what do you want to know the 4 greatest of all time things?
I don't know.
Take your time and think about it. Think about something you would want to know the greatest something. It could be the greatest heaters of all time, the greatest coaches of all time, anything. Don't use the ones I just used though. Think about that. And Adam's going to tell us what we're going to be watching for our comedy special. I'm totally taking the easy way out on this and trying to put this on my son right now.
Lots of good. I feel like we say it every week now. Lots of good comedy specials
Yeah.
out there right now. Netflix, YouTube, I probably even some HBO ones. I don't have HBO, but one that we've talked about last couple weeks, and I knew one of us was gonna pick it eventually. I'm going with Tom Papa this week.
Yeah, it was gonna come.
Tom Papa, what a day!
This guy. So I got to tell you about Tom Papa. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how to take him. We've talked about it before. Last time we did this, he always wears a suit. He's always dressed nicely. I never know. I don't know what kind of. I like watching his specials, listening to him on his show with Fortune Feimster on Comedy Central, on Sirius Radio. I don't 100% know what kind of guy this dude really is. Like, he's kind of a back and forth. I can't put my finger on what I like hanging out with this dude Is he a little too preppy for me? Is he a little too like I don't know who he is. I don't know who this guy is.
I think he reminds me most of Jim Gaffigan. I think he's kind of a similar
Perfect.
guy.
So now I
his
know that I
look, his
wouldn't want to hang out with him.
and I would. So perfect.
Jim Gaffigan. There's two guys. I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. We did a special with him. He's always got like spiky hair.
Brian Regan.
When those two come on one of the comedy stations on Sirius Radio, I couldn't tell you who was who.
Really?
I take that back. I could tell you because if I laugh at the joke, I'd be like, oh, that's Brian Regan.
Oh,
That's how I would do it.
man, not a Jim Gaffigan fan at all.
I don't know why. I think it's this. I think this really.
You don't like a
irritates me.
whisper. I know
I
that.
can't stand the whisper of the. Oh my god, dude!
Like commentating as a.
And the
fan
last one
on
we
his
did,
own
it
thing.
was nothing but him talking about how great his life is, and it was in like Taiwan or something. Where was it? Mongolia. He did the special in Canada.
I think he did like a two-parter. They were both away, and he was talking about
Yeah.
Canadian food and stuff, and
Yeah.
making references that we didn't totally understand. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that Tom Papa most reminds me, I think, of Jim Gaffigan.
Okay.
So, anyway, so he has a what's his pod? He has a podcast. Shoot, I've watched a bunch of episodes, but anyway, he bakes bread, which he picked up in the pandemic, like a lot of people did, but
Mhm.
he's still doing it. And so when he has a guest on, he bakes them bread and like gives them the bread as like a thank you for being on the show. But he has other comedians on and talks to them and stuff and I think it's funny. It's good. It's funny.
I like it. All right. That sounds good. So we're going to do Tom Papa's new special on Netflix. Parker, did you come up with anything of what you want to know the greatest of all time?
Probably Larry Bird.
Good. So you want me to do the greatest shot, the Mount Rushmore of Larry Bird shots?
Moments or shots?
Moments. I'm going. That's what I'm going to do. Great job, Parker. I'm going Mount Rushmore of Larry Bird moments. I mean, it could be it could be a moment, not necessarily a shot, like a moment of time where you walk into a locker room and say something this could be good. This is going to be great because we just talked about this last week, how we both I was talking about how during watching the Michael Jordan commercials, I went down a Larry Bird wormhole.
Yeah.
Parker, great job on this, bro. Give me 5.
Yep.
Went down a Larry Bird wormhole of YouTube of other players just telling the craziest Larry Bird stories of all time.
Moments or Larry Bird stories?
Those are moments.
Okay.
Well, those are moments in his life. The stories are. So that's how I'm going to do it. You could choose like winning an MVP or winning a title. One of his 3. He's got 3 titles, right? Winning one of his 3 titles. Or you could say
81, 84, 86.
There you go. Or you could say walking on the floor and looking over at Houston and saying, I'm going to step out and I'm going to hit a 3 to win this game real quick. And then walking over and hitting a 3 to win the game. Pointing at a spot that he's going to shoot it from and walking out, running to that spot, hitting a 3 from that spot. Like that to me is a moment, right? That's a Larry Bird moment.
I'm not even going to start because I'm just going to say I'm just going to vomit out of my brain all the Larry Bird stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's one that's easily on there. I'm just gonna write it down now. But
can it be a song? Can a song be? Because every time I think of the video that you guys had at your house for however many years, I'm sure we watched that tape till it was gone, till it ran out.
Oh yeah. I have it on DVD.
You have that on DVD?
Yeah, I've got 2 copies of it on DVD actually.
I'm gonna have you bring one so Parker can watch it.
Yeah.
Can you bring that next week?
Absolutely.
Parker, do you want to watch one of the greatest DVDs of my childhood? One of the greatest movies of my childhood? It's got Charles Barkley. It's got Larry Bird. It's got Michael Jordan. It's got Hakeem Olajuwon.
Who's that?
He's the greatest defensive player of all time.
Maybe the greatest center of all time. When you think of center, you think of Shaq, right? he may be better than Shaq. What do you think about that? Yeah, you want to watch it? Who else is in that? I'm missing somebody. Is that all of
Everybody.
them?
Oh, you're talking about the Superstars tape.
Yeah.
Superstar. I
What
also
were
have
you
that on DVD. Okay, yeah.
What were you thinking?
There's like a home video, an NBA home video all about Larry. It's like a Larry Bird biography.
No,
That's what I thought you were talking
No, I was thinking about that Superstars. I like
because there's a
there's
song.
there's a song for each player,
Yes,
and when
yes.
I hear those songs, I think, oh, Charles Barkley. Like that's what I think. I think Larry Bird. I think Michael Jordan. when I
Dr.
hear the
J's on
songs.
that.
Dr. J is on that. Yes.
They have a thing in the middle for all the like old players. There's a Billy Joel song that they play over that. Let's see, Isaiah Thomas. You might have mentioned all the other guys. Yeah,
I feel like I was
Jordan,
missing
Bird,
one, maybe
Barkley,
two. So Isaiah
Hakeem.
Thomas.
Isaiah, Dr. J, probably 6 guys.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Magic's on it.
Magic.
He's the
song.
first
Oh,
one.
yeah, Magic was the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Abdul.
So good. All right, that sounds good. Parker, you're gonna get the wife. Adam's gonna bring you a DVD to watch, and it's gonna be the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Oh gosh.
What do you think
So
about
good.
that? You got to talk because people can't always see you. What do you think?
Yeah.
Pumped?
Yeah.
Thanks, cousin Adam. Are you tired right now? It is running on midnight. Parker's kicking it with us. No school tomorrow, right, Parker? You going to bed after this?
Yeah.
Had practice tonight.
Had
Tired from
a
that.
tough practice. We probably ran more in practice today than we've ever ran. We had full court today.
Ooh.
We didn't use full court except to run, but we had full court at the main gym in the high school, and they had to run Panthers.
While there were
I
6,
call 'em-
while there were 6 teams in the other gym.
Is that
practicing.
insane? Isn't that crazy? We were the only one in the main gym, and you got your
Yeah,
practice.
God.
Your practice got interrupted by 100 kids. Our lead of victory was over there. What was going on with that? Was there a basketball game? I'm pretty sure I saw Kyle Robbins like peeking into the main gym. I'm 99% sure because I looked over and he gave a little head nod. I gave him a head. I'm 99%. He was on the other opposite corner, but I also saw some light blue jerseys and stuff.
I think his daughter swims there. I think that's why he's.
Oh, maybe that's why he was there. But there was some light blue jerseys. I just figured it was victory.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. It was little guys because they put up the hoop that hangs on the other hoop that hangs lower. So yeah, that was they were setting that up, and
Fun.
well, those kids were everywhere.
Yes, they were, huh?
They pulled the divider
Yep.
through the curtain.
Meanwhile, we had the entire our 4th grade team had the entire main gym.
Guys were in the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, we were, and the only time we used it was for us to run. Can you call them Panthers when you're at Oak Hills? Are we allowed to call them Panthers?
We had a play last year called Elder.
Did you have a play called Elder? Heck yeah, nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't call it Seton because you're the girls basketball
Right.
coach. Which apparently this is a big week, right? This is a big game tomorrow.
That's
Tomorrow is it seems like almost a rivalry type game.
Yeah.
Because one of the freshmen who's on the varsity team walked up to me while we're in the middle of practice, walked directly up to me across the court and says, we got Seton tomorrow. Are you going to come? You going to come watch us play Seton? And I was like, what time? Or, what? Well, it's, I said, do all 3 levels play? And she said, yeah, freshman plays too. I said, all right, well then I might come to go watch Adam and then hang out for the next couple games.
Freshman on the varsity team?
Yeah. Daner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Isn't she on the varsity team?
She is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the toughest, hardest playing kids I've ever been around.
If you knew her dad, you do know her dad. Her dad used to lead off. Now I think he bats second on our softball team.
Oh, yeah.
He is the most hard-nosed, toughest son of a gun. He's, probably pushing 50 if he's not 50 already. And the dude is 100% balls to the wall every game. Sunday beer league softball, and he's sliding, get huge cherries, just knees tore up. So getting mad at umpires when he's pitching at it's underhand slow pitch softball, and he's in argument. Like that's the mentality though that gets in it. She's a hard-nosed, competitive person, very competitive family, very competitive She's had brother and sister that were very good high school athletes. She's the next one in line.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, good. Yep. Big time game tomorrow. I know my kids are excited, or at least they were like a week ago, and then now they got to work really hard in practice to get ready for it. So that's tougher, but
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's gonna be fun.
Parker, you want to go watch some girls basketball tomorrow? Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, we'll see how we're feeling when I get home from work, and maybe we'll swing on out to Oak Hills and watch Oak Hills play Seton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Parker's ready for bed. So next week we've got Tom Papa. We've got Mount Rushmore of Larry Bird moments.
Mhm.
And we've got we've got NFL picks. There'll be some other sports thing. We're gonna eat some Reese's something. And yeah, so till then, don't forget to turn your headlights on.
My ears hurt.